Hello everybody, I'm really sorry that the last video couldn't be completed. So we will complete our multivariate GARCH analysis in this video. So we were doing the dynamic conditional correlation matrix. We were trying to find out that. So we go to proc, then we go to conditional covariance, and then we go to correlation. And so previously we had done it in the matrix format. Now we would do group, right? So here is our data. So let us copy it and paste it to Excel. Yeah. Uh, so since we were trying to look at the conditional correlation between mainly the market and the indexes, so we will just use B, C, and D, right? Because as we remember in my data set or in my analysis of multivariate cards, one was Sensex, two was, if I'm not wrong, two was PSU, yes, three was oil, and four was FMCG. So GARCH 1 2 is the correlation between Sensex and PSU. GARCH 1 3 is the conditional correlation between Sensex and oil, and 1 4 is the correlation between Sensex and FMCG. So we are mostly interested in in those three. So we can delete these three rows, right? So we have it here. So let us now plot it in Excel. So GARCH, first let us write it properly. GARCH 1 2 here is Sensex uh, versus, uh, wait, yeah, PSU. Then we have 1 3 is Sensex and oil, and 1 4 is Sensex and FMCG. Okay, so this is date. Let us first plot it, Sensex with FMCG. Let's first see it. So we go to insert and then we go to recommended charts. Okay. Mm. So this is how we have it. So since my data set is just up to 2024, we cannot see any point where it was where the correlation was negative. However, nearly, I mean, recently, like at the end period of 2024 and the starting of 2025, I'm sorry, I don't have the data of that period with me. During that period, correlation was negative. You can try it at home, so you will see that the correlation was a little negative during that period. So as we can see that the correlation does not cross zero point 0.8 at any period, and during 2020, during the crisis period, the correlation is falling, which is a good indicator. However, after that also it is rising. So like mostly from 2020 to 2021, it is at around 0.7, 0.8. So which is not a very good indicator. However, we can try to find out the most probable range within which conditional correlation lies in EViews. So we have to come to EViews. Okay. Okay, so we go to view, we go to graph. Firstly, let us just open GARCH 1 4. So, yeah, so as we remember, GARCH 1 4 was FMCG. Let us just open it. Let us put it here. Then we go to view, and then we go to graph. Then we go to graph distribution, right? So here, what we will do a empirical survivor function. Yeah. So here it is. So On the vertical axis we have the probability, and on the horizontal axis we have the correlation values. As you can see, the probability that the correlation will be above zero point 0.7, it is less than even 20%, so which is not very high, right? However, the probability that it will be more than 0.5, it is around 90%, and it will be more than zero point 0.6, it is around 80%. So like 60% chance it will be more than 0.64, and 20%, around 40% chance it will be more than 0.68. So let us keep that, let us consider that it is in between zero point 0.6 to 0.68, or zero point 0.6 to zero point 0.7. So there is most chance of lying of the correlation between that uh, that range. So now let us look for the correlation between oil and market. As we remember, in our case, I think oil was 3. So we will see GARCH 1 3. We will see the empirical survivor function here. Go to distribution, and yeah, so here as you can see that it is around like 0.64 to 0.62 to 0.68, around the similar kind of a range, right? So however here, for it to go beyond zero point 0.7, it is even less than 10%, right? So here even the correlation is lesser. So we can, even for the case of like 1 and 3, that is Sensex and oil, we can also plot the correlation here. Like you'll have to choose this, and then we go to insert and charts. Sorry. Here it is. So, like the trajectory is same. However, during the crisis period, it is like touching zero point 0.8 in those periods, right? So, like here also we can see a similar kind of a trajectory, and you can do the same thing for the other index. You can do it for PAC and Sensex also. So now it is important that we find out the time varying beta, because previously while we were finding out Kpm beta, it was just like one particular value. However, like it is not very accurate to describe a data set over a 10-year period with just one beta value, with just one Kpm beta value. So I think it is better to do it using time varying beta, right? So as we know, the formula for beta is covariance of x and y divided by variance of x. So here in the case of Kpm beta, it will be beta equals to covariance of Ri and Rm divided by variance of Rm, where your Ri is your dependent variable, that is the return of the particular stock, or here oil, PSU or FMCG, and RM is the return of the Sensex, that is return of the market, that is the independent variable of the X variable. So we need to just find the covariance and the variance related data set. So let's go to eViews. Okay. Now we go to proc, we go to conditional covariance, and we generate covariance. We do okay, right? So this is the covariance data set. Let us copy it. Okay. First, let me write down, give the headings properly. GARCH 1 is basically variance of Sensex, right? Variance of Sensex. GARCH 1 2 is covariance of Sensex with one of the sectors, and here 2 was PSU. So this is covariance Sensex PSU. GARCH 1-3 was covariance, Sensex and oil. GARCH 1-4 was covariance, Sensex and FMCG. GARCH 2 is variance of PSU. GARCH 2-3 is covariance of PSU and all. And these are the things that we do not require. So let us just delete it. Let us find the TVB now. So TVB PSU, TVB oil, and TVB FMCG. Okay. So as I said, it will be covariance by variance. So covariance divided by variance of Sensex. Right here, you have the time varying beta. And for the case of correlation, our benchmark was 0, right? So for the case of correlation, we basically try to see whether we have a positive or a negative correlation. However, in the case of beta, we will try to see whether beta is greater than 1 or beta is less than 1. If beta is greater than 1, we would call the stock to be an aggressive stock, and if beta is less than 1, then we would call the stock to be a defensive stock. Let's see. Right? Sorry. Okay. So we have it here. So you can copy and paste it also to eViews, but then you wouldn't have the correct date format. So let us generate the series in eViews for a few cases. So we go to quick, we go to generate series. So let us do TVB of FMCG, time varying beta of FMCG. So this will be GARCH 1-4 divided by GARCH 0-1. Right, GARCH 1-4 is covariance of our FMCG with Sensex. 1 is Sensex, 4 is FMCG, and GARCH 1 is the variance of Sensex. So equal to, right, I hope it is created. Yeah, so TVB FMCG is created. It is the same values, I think, 0.473963. Let's see here. Yeah, we have done it correctly, absolutely correctly. So let us now form the graph. Graph, I am doing the empirical survivor function to say the range of the time varying beta. Yeah. So it is more than 1. Chances of it being more than 1 is around 0%. So in most cases, it is less than 1. So we can say that it is more or less a defensive kind of a stock. So that will be our analysis here, that it is not very aggressive. So you can do the same thing. You can find the time varying beta for the other stocks also. Let us do it for PSU. We go to generate series. We do TVB PSU, right, equals to. So PSU was GARCH 1-2. Sorry. Divided by GARCH 1. You have TVB PSU, time varying beta of PSU. Now let us go to graph. Sorry. Go to distribution and we go to empirical survivor. Okay. Yeah. So here, having like this is kind of aggressive, because here for the stock to have 1.1 is around 20%, which is quite high, right? And it is for the chance to be more than 1 is around 60%. Like time varying beta being more than 1 in the case of PSU is around 60%. So it is very high, right? So it is an aggressive stock, we might say. So this is how you can do your analysis. So uh, this is the last video on multivariate GARCH related models. So we would do more advanced model in the upcoming videos. Thank you for staying with us. Please keep supporting.